Hey everyone, welcome to my channel, Dolls for Dolls. This is Jessica, and today I have a very special guest with me, my not so little brother, Joshua.
Hello.
Now, today I wanted Josh to come up here and share a little bit about his anime collection. So this is not going to be, a regular video about dolls. He doesn't collect any dolls like that, so I wanted him to tell you all how he got interested in anime, what his favorite anime show is, and we'll show his whole collection at the end of the video, but we're just going to focus on a few of his favorite ones in this video today. So, Joshy?
So probably the first way I ever got into anime was probably JoJo's Bizarre Adventure. Started watching that on a road trip when I was on the way back from Texas. It was actually right before I left Texas. I was sitting on the couch and I was like, I'm gonna be so bored on the way back because it was like a 30-hour drive. So was looking on Netflix and stuff, and I was like, I've seen a lot of memes and stuff about this anime, and so I tried it out. It was pretty cool. It was pretty cool. I liked it a lot. Came back home, watched it with a sister, and I think I watched it with two of my sisters like twice. I watched the series like 3 times by now.
Yeah, he literally told me, he said, you've got to watch this anime. Because I've liked anime, like when I was little, I used to watch Sailor Moon and Dragon Ball Z, but I didn't really get into anime, like hardcore, until Josh showed me JoJo's Bizarre Adventure.
Yeah, I was all over that. It was a crazy time. That was like in 2020, I think. But after that, I got into Attack on Titan and other animes, and ever since then, it's kind of just been what do they call it, a rabbit hole that I've fallen down. But yeah, that was definitely the first anime I ever got into. Like, I've got a poster up there of it in the back, as you can see, and I've got some art over there, and it's all JoJo. That was the first thing to really kick it off.
So, if you had to pick an absolute favorite anime that you've seen so far, which one would it be?
I don't know. That's kind of a hard choice, actually, because like there's so many good ones that I've seen. Like Attack on Titan is definitely up there, but I I don't have any figures of those, actually. I don't actually think I have a single figure of Attack on Titan.
I do. I got Eren.
I don't have a single figure of Attack on Titan, unfortunately, but based on all the ones I do have, I'd have to say my favorite one is probably Jujutsu Kaisen.
I haven't seen that yet. He's been asking
I've
me
told
to
her
watch
to.
it.
I've told her to watch that. I've told her to watch Peaky Blinders.
I haven't finished that. That's not even anime, so that don't even count. I have watched some of Peaky Blinders. If
Don't
you're
ever
a fan.
recommend a series there. She ain't ever gonna watch it.
That's not true. It just takes me a while.
Anyway, yeah, probably Jujutsu Kaisen because a good 90% of my collection is just Jujutsu Kaisen, and you could thank my cousin for that, because we were at GameStop one time, and I wasn't even into collecting that much. In fact, the very first thing I ever collected was, I do have an Attack on Titan something. It's not a figure, it's a Funko Pop. I do have an Attack on Titan Funko Pop. I can say that.
Is it back here in the background?
Yeah. It's like,
Buried.
this is the first thing I ever collected. And it's actually a special edition. It came with a shirt. It can't see it. It has Eren Yeager.
I was jealous of that.
Yeah. This is the special, the blue one. But anyway, you can thank my cousin for my collection because this was like right after I collected that first Funko. I wasn't planning on getting into actual like figures, vinyl figures, like the actual action figure type of things. But I was walking in GameStop with him one time, and I saw this Toji. I had just finished watching Jujutsu Kaisen for the first time, and I saw this Toji. I got it right here. Saw this one right here, and I really liked it. I thought it was cool, and I was like, I don't know if I really want to start getting into collecting these.
Because it's an addiction.
Yeah, so I don't really know if I want to get into those, because I've seen her hundreds of Barbies, and I was like, oh god, I'm gonna go down that path. And so
The good thing would be though, see, he's bought me a couple of dolls for my collection, so I could return the favor and buy him some figures. But he just didn't want to have that back and forth thing, because then it'd be like, well, you ever heard the expression one hand scratches the other or whatever? Or one hand washes the other. You scratch my back, I'll scratch yours. Anyway.
But yeah, I saw that figure. I saw that figure in GameStop, and it was sitting up there. It was like calling to me. It was like I heard the archangel singing around it or something. But sitting up there in a nice little glass box, and I brought him over there. He was looking at something completely different. I said, "Oh my God, I like this right here," because I think he offered me that he would get something for me, like a Funko Pop or something. He'd get something for me, but I told him, I was like, "I really like this." He walked up to it, and he was a big JJK fan too, and he was like, "Oh dang, that does look cool." Picked it up, took it to the register, bought it for himself. I was heartbroken. And it was the last one too. It was the last one, and so he rubbed it in my face for like so long. Every time I went over to just like stay with him, he would just like, we'd be randomly sit on the bed, he'd look at me and he'd be like, "I have that." It would make me so mad. So to counter that, I went and bought the whole series collection. So, not only do I have that one, I have every other one in that collection. And he still only has the one. So I sent him a picture. I was like, "Hey, look at this." He said, "No way." But yeah, I guess that's what we're gonna be going over today. All that collection that I've got, that specific collection. I've got like however many, but.
So yeah, well, like I said, at the end we'll show you pretty much all of his figures. And he has one, like, since JoJo started all off, Dio was actually his favorite character back in the day.
You can actually see him in the background right there.
Yeah.
Right there.
He's way back here, but Mandy bought that for him. What was it, for your birthday or Christmas or something?
Christmas, I think.
So yeah, that's really technically the OG, even though it's still one of his newer figures. But yeah, JoJo is the reason that we're all kind of more so into anime now. But I'm gonna go ahead and flip the camera around so he can show y'all his Jujutsu Kaisen collection, and I'll be right back.
So this is like my entire collection, sort of a bit of a view of it. It's not the whole thing itself, but these are like some other boxes, my Funkos, my Death Note collections up here, and I've got some other ones up here you can't really see, but these are the ones I'm really going to be talking about.
This is also our studio setup for the music, so it's a little bit cramped, but
you probably can't see it. There's a keyboard right here. But yeah, so I don't really know how to do this. Do I just like pick it up?
Yeah, you just bring it close.
So this is like, obviously this is the first one. This is Toji Fushiguro. And he comes with this little like stand that can come off, and that I have such a hard time fixing when it falls like it did earlier. But you just stick it up there, it helps to have stability, and it looks pretty cool. This is like I said, this is the first one that kind of got me started in collecting. I just like it. It feels weighty and it feels nice and stuff. It's not like cheap. It doesn't feel cheap. But yeah.
And what company did they come from?
This is, I think it's Band Presto is the one that does all of them, but the specific, I feel like Band Presto is like the mother company of all these figures, and then they just like split off into a million other small companies. But that's the big one, Band Presto, and this specific series though is the King of Artist series, and that's what all of these are King of Artist. So they're all about the same size, about the same weight, kind of. But that's the Toji. Then we've got this is actually Kinjaku, but also Gato, known as Gato, but it's Kinjaku. Yeah, he's really heavy because all of this stuff is solid. This is not like hollow. This is solid. And let me see, they got the stitches in his head. You'd have to watch the anime to know what that's all about. Back of his hair. Yeah, all this stuff is not hollow. This is like very weighty.
And it's sculpted really nice too.
Oh yeah.
I like the paint job, however they did that.
Yeah, you got this down here. This comes off if you ever wanted to, like, not have that. I think you could use it without that because his sandals provide pretty good stability. But I put it up there anyway. There's that. Put him back very carefully. This is one of the main characters here. I mean, they're all kind of main characters, but this is Nobara. If you watch Jujutsu Kaisen, you'll know that she is one of the absolute main 3 characters. You see, she's got her little hammer. This actually, if I remember right, I think it does. Yeah, this comes out, and
That's pretty cool.
has a little heart on it. And yeah, she's got another one of those little leg bases here. If I can focus it on, yeah, she's got another one of those little leg bases. Her shoes actually glow, which is kind of something you can see on this shoe over here. It glows. That's different from like all the other collectibles. I don't know how they do that, unless they just paint it with something special. But yeah, they did really good with the details and stuff like that.
And that's the thing too I've noticed, because my sister Mandy, our sister Mandy, she collects some of these too, she gave some of them to Josh, or all of them I think.
Yeah.
And some of them, like when she was searching online for which ones she wanted, like the same with Barbies or anything like that, you have to really pay attention to the quality of the figures and like what company does the best job. So yeah, it's still kind of similar to when you buy dolls and stuff.
Yeah, and speaking of that, that leads me to this one. Because this is kind of one that I got gypped on.
Story time.
Yeah, because like I said, I wanted the entire King of Artists set, but I didn't. I got almost all of it. This is the only one. I would have had all of it if Amazon didn't mess me up, or the seller. I don't think this is the King of Artists Sukuna. Because he is much smaller. It might not look like it, but he is much smaller. Like, that's palm of my hand. He's like a minifigure. He still is nice and everything, but he's much less weighty, and he came in a much smaller box. The box did not say King of Artists, and in fact, I've got like another figure, two figures actually, besides him that are like that from this other different company. And so I think it said on the Amazon ad, it showed a completely different product, but I just never returned it because I thought it was cool anyway. And plus, I have like 3 other Sukunas, so it's okay.
Mm-hmm.
So if you could pick one thing I didn't have the entire collection, then it would be this one right here. But yeah, he still looks cool. Like, details are pretty cool, even though he's like small. It's pretty cool. Let's see. Next one is Megumi. This one is cool. Now, I cleaned all of these up yesterday because I dusted my room. That took like 4 hours. But I'll say his hair is one of the hardest things to dust ever. Getting in the grooves and everything without trying to break anything off. It's kind of hard to do that. But yeah, this is really cool. I like this figure. Yeah, I've seen this at like different GameStops and stuff after I ordered it. Because this series is actually pretty hard to find in certain stores, especially if you're looking at like Walmart or something like that.
Yeah, anytime me and Tommy would go off to the mall, like in Raleigh or something, I would go to the GameStops or any of those anime stores, and I'd send Josh pictures. I'm like, do you have this? Do you have this?
And I'd be like, not till you get it for me.
Exactly.
Yeah, this is pretty cool. It did his finger details really well. It's exactly like he does in an anime. It's pretty cool. I'll put him back. I'm probably moving at a much faster pace than Jessica usually does because she usually takes time and does one review, but I'm going over like 10. This is everybody's favorite. This is Gojo. If you're an anime fan, you gotta know who Gojo is. But yeah, you see he's got his little mask on to hide his 6 eyes. Got the suit on here, his hair. And I said, this is the King of Artists one, the King of Artists series, and I just liked the way that they did Toji, and I liked the way they did all these, actually.
Yeah, their clothes and everything, just the way they sculpted them looks so real.
Yeah. I like these right here. But yeah, that's Gojo. And it's really cool. They even like painted his hand in there. Like they could have just molded it and stuck it like that, but they actually put his hand in there. It's pretty cool. Put him back. This isn't King of Artists. This has nothing to do with JJK, but this is Makima. I don't care. I'm gonna show you Makima. This is Makima from Chainsaw Man. I like Makima. And yeah, she's cool. It's completely different anime, and it's not King of Artists, but I got her at that one place we went to. I forget what it's
The
called.
flea market?
No, the nerd cave.
The nerd cave. Oh, oh. Yeah, that was a place we took in Greenville. You know
Yeah.
about? Yeah. Yeah, we took him to an anime store. I forgot what it was called, but we also took him to an anime flea market back in April, and he got something from there.
Miku over there. Yeah, that's Makima. I have some other Chainsaw Man ones, but they're all the way over there, and yeah. I'm gonna take. He's on this next one I got over here is on. Let's see if I can. Yeah, I can't do that. I'm gonna take him off of this stand because it's difficult. The stand is really big, and so he attaches back there in his butt. It does. It attaches back there. Yeah, he comes in half too, I think. Yeah, he comes in half. Push him back in like that. But yeah, that's him right there, and he is meant to be like, mid-air. The stand is really big because it has to support him like hanging in mid-air like that, and so this one is the King of Artists Yuji. And you might think he looks kind of like Sukuna, it's because like you have to see the anime, he kind of is like Sukuna. And this is the size that baby Sukuna over there is supposed to be. Like, you see, he's much bigger. This is the size I was expecting. But, I did not get that. But yeah, I really like look at the details they put in, like, the molding of the pants and everything. And the shoes. Looks really cool. That's the only thing, though, like I said. The hair of these characters are spiked like that, so it makes them hard to dust.
Yeah, you actually broke one yesterday.
Not yesterday. No, don't.
It wasn't yesterday?
No, I think it was the other day it fell off.
Yeah, I'll have to get Tommy to super glue it or something.
Let's see if I can put this back up here. I've got some other characters resting on that. Stay. I don't think it's gonna stay. Anyway. Okay. So this is Nanami. Right here. Another anime favorite.
That's Mandy's favorite guy.
I don't know how many of y'all like that are on this channel watch anime, but yeah, he's really big in the whole anime community. Whether you watch Jujutsu Kaisen or not, if you ever seen anything about anime, you've probably seen Nanami here. I think his little like thing here comes out. Oh,
His whole hand.
yeah, his whole hand comes out, and this. I think I'm not gonna try it. But yeah, that thing I think comes out. It can if you want it to. But for some reason they package them like this. Like, what's the point of that?
They can't buy a big enough box to ship it. Maybe
Can't
I
buy a
guess.
big enough box to ship this little part, but they'll stick his arm out. See if I can stick that back in there. But yeah,
You're like, everyone's a critic.
yeah, this is one of my favorites that I put over here. Yeah, they really did really good. I like the way his tie like is in midair. It's pretty cool. I'll see if I can finagle this back here. And I'm actually gonna have to put this one up. Now this is the one that everyone hates. Everyone hates Mahito. Everyone hates this guy. Yeah, he's one of the bad villains. You can see, bring him up. He's got like scars all over him. Like that, all over his body. Pretty evil looking face.
got like his whole shirt. They did like the details like that. It's pretty cool. I like the way it looks. And like the other one, I think he comes in half. I'll have to see. I think he did. Yeah. Comes in half here. You just push him back up. They come shipped like that. And his hair in the back. Like that. Got like some jeans on, some like Michael Jackson shoes. Yeah. Just like that. He's pretty cool. Only 2 more left in this collection, I think. I knew that was gonna happen. I knew it.
I'll pause and we'll be right back.
This one, I'll do these two together because I got them together actually. So this right here is, it kind of looks like the other one I said, Kenjaku, but this is Gato. You have to see the anime to see the difference, but this is kind of young Gato. He's probably one of the heaviest ones I've got in this collection because all of this is solid vinyl. All this is not hollow, so it's pretty heavy. And this is the young Gojo. And they go together. I got them in like a pair. It was ridiculously overpriced, I think, because they're sold out everywhere, but I got them brand new on eBay.
But as we know, us collectors, we don't care the price. If we want something, we'll get it.
Yeah, these were like really over. I don't even know if they were overpriced or if it was a fair price. I couldn't find a cheaper one. But yeah, they just did really cool. Like one thing I noticed, they put his eyes like that. Like they actually did his eyes and put his hands in here in his pockets. They just did a lot of detail. Same for him. Like this looks really cool. Yeah, they both have those type of standing bases. But in terms of like I do have one other Jujutsu Kaisen collectible. I mean, if I went over all of them, I have some up there on top of my Funkos, but this is one right here that I really like. This is probably, like, in terms of the quality, one of my favorite Jujutsu Kaisen collectibles I've got. And it's not even a King of Artists one. I don't even know what brand this is, but this one is probably one of the more expensive ones I ever bought. I think I got it from my sister at first, Mandy, and I think it was almost like $100 just for this one. But this came from Tokyo, Japan, and really, really heavy. And the design is, not only did they do the design well, they actually did his like skin complexion. Like they did the different colors of his skin. You gotta look close, but they actually put veins in his arms. Like, see if I can focus it in. Yeah, you got veins in his arms, and all the way his clothes just have texture in them. You see the muscle in his arms. Like, it actually looks real. It's kind of crazy. Yeah, that is Choso. They like even changed the color of his hair and stuff. Once again, another difficult thing to dust because of that. Trying to get something in there that's hard to do. Yeah, that's Choso. This is one of my favorite ones. Yeah, but in terms of all of my Jujutsu Kaisen ones, that's pretty much it for this row. Okay, so this right here is, like I said, this is everything you've already seen right here. But all of this stuff is what was off camera. This is the rest of my collection. So this is Tornado from One Punch Man, and this is her sister, Fubuki. I think that's her name. She might have like a hero name, but just like her name is actually Tatsumaki. They call her Tornado, and she's called something else. This is like a giant Yuji. So it's him, the one I showed you that I had a hard time with his hand. That's big Yuji, really big, like big. And that's the big Sukuna that I got, compared to little baby Sukuna right here. That's my finger put up to his head. That's my finger put up to his head. Much bigger. And kind of annoying to deal with sometimes because he's only being held up by that removable knee thing right there, that little black thing. That's all my characters up here. I've got Misa from Death Note in the box. Light Yagami from Death Note. L from Death Note. And I'm missing Ryuk. That's the last one I'm missing in that collection, I think. For Funkos, I've got the Yuji Tadori, Gojo, Sukuna, another Gojo special edition. I got Mahito down there, and who's that? That's Kasumi. That's Miwa. That's Miwa down there. I don't feel like moving everything to get it. They got the Noritoshi Kamo, Utahime, and then those are all my Jujutsu Kaisen ones, and these down here are Attack on Titan. So that's the special Eren Yeager, the Mikasa Ackerman, and Armin, I think. So I got the three main characters of those down there. And over here, mixed with all my other stuff, I might need to like move the light over here. This is like a bottle of Japanese drink that I got from like Raleigh, I think. It's my lava lamp. Here's some other stuff right here. This is Chainsaw Man. He's one of the villains, and this is a two-parter, so I'm gonna just put this down and show you. Got those. I got those from two separate stores on the same trip because it was they each only had one. So I got him and him from two different stores. They're really cool. This is the Dio. This Dio is like really big. It's probably the biggest single collectible that I have. I don't even know I'm gonna do this. Yeah. He's extremely heavy for a collectible. And very weighty. It stands like that. Got his, all this stuff is like movable. It's not like just molded plastic or anything. All this is like movable. Even his cape, to a certain degree, you can move his cape. And his face details are really nice. You see his hair, another hard one to dust. They just did a really good job with that. It's probably one of my favorite ones. And I'll set him over here very carefully so he doesn't break anything. It's always a time trying to set him. And this right here is the one that Jessica was saying I got from the anime flea market thing. Miku. They had like 50 different Mikus there, and I was trying to decide which one I got. So this is really cool. It's one of the best designed ones that I've got, I think. This hair piece actually comes off to help with packaging, but I'm not going to take it off. Yeah, the dress looks really cool. And she's not really from a specific anime. Miku is just like a pop star or something like that. She's not really specifically from one anime. She's just like a anime model. And then I'll close this so you can see. I've got a little panda over there. He can come off of that little block. Got a little baby Mahito, Sukuna. These are like mini Funko Pops. It's the same company as Funko. And a little mini panda and Maki Zenin. Yes. Then we got some questionable stickers there. And we got same little baby Jujutsu Kaisen figures. So Maki Zenin, Panda, I forget his name. I'm gonna be mad at myself for that. Gojo, Megumi.
Is it Itadori?
No, that's not Itadori. It's I forget his name.
I know it too, but I forgot.
Yeah, that's Yuji and Nobara.
Togi?
Yeah, Toge Inumaki. Toge Inumaki.
I ain't even
That's
seen
got
it, and I remembered.
Just said Togi. It's Toge Inumaki. And this is Zero Two from Darling in the Franxx. It's one of my favorites that actually moves. And so I'm showing that. I've also got this poster thing of Attack on Titan. And it moves like that. And the same thing for Jujutsu Kaisen over here. This actually has three different like poster settings. Yeah, there you go. And I have my little baby things up there, and my blanket is covering another set, but I've got like another 4 of these little plushies hanging up over there. I guess I'm gonna show everything.
Yeah, you can show Mandy's art.
This is the art that Mandy did for me of Gojo. You see one of my little buddies sticking out from there. It did Gojo, Sukuna, Dio, and this is my Attack on Titan poster. It's really hard to see because of the glare and all my lights in the background. But that is the Attack on Titan poster I got. And this is the last part of my collection. I'm not even going to really go into depth about everything because there's just like so much here that I haven't organized. That's a Fortnite thingy that Jessica and Tommy got me. T and Tina, I think that's her name. That's why she's got the Kaboom on her shirt. This is one of the interchangeable UGs and stuff like that. You can change out his faces and stuff. I got Denji from Chainsaw Man. I got him and her when I went to that same nerd cave, as I call it. It's a funny story behind that. I'll have to say another time. Got Gojo in the back. Another Kenjaku. This is a lot of the stuff that my sister gave me. Gojo. Another one of him, Inumaki. And got him here. What's his name? I forget his name. I'll come back to it. Another Inumaki and Utahime there. I've got a bunch of these noodle stoppers here. So that's Gato, Gojo, Nanami, him, Mahito, Toji, Megumi, and Yuji, him, Inumaki, and Yuta, I think. Yuta Okotsu or something like that. I think that's his name. Yuta. Yeah, that's my entire collection. Looking at it in the broad scope, that's paired with everything else on my desk over there. That's my collection.
So that is Josh's entire anime collection, and I am really glad that you finally came up here and did this video with me. I had a harder time getting him to do this with me than I did with Emily. If you watched her video, she said that she had been looking forward to it, but she kept putting it off, and I'm like, that sounds kind of contradictory to me. But it was like pulling teeth to get him to do it. So thank you, Joshy, for doing it with me. I love you so much. And I am glad that I can give him the credit for really getting me into anime more than I used to be. I kind of wanted to start an anime collection myself with JoJo stuff, but I'm like, no, that would be way too much when I already have all the dolls and everything else. And also I'm glad that he showed you Mandy's art that she did for him. She's also sculpted him some figures, but I think some of them got broke, so unfortunately they had to be thrown away. But she did sculpt him a Jotaro, a Dio, and a Giorno from JoJo's Bizarre Adventure. So before I end the video, I also wanted to say that, of course, y'all know we sing, our group is called Alive, and Josh is our producer. He does all of our music and recording, and so I just wanted to put a plug in for him. If anybody out there is in need of a producer or somebody to help them get started in music, Josh is your guy. I will put down all of his links and also like our Spotify if you're interested in listening to some of our music. We do have a new album coming out soon, so I will let y'all know about that. I know this is strictly my dog platform, but I also wanted to, you know, share some of the other things that we're into as well. So Josh, do you have anything else you would like to add before we end the video?
Not really. I guess just thank you for letting me up here, and it's been nice. You know, I didn't think I'd ever do this because I'm not like a doll person, but I gave you this idea. I think I gave you this idea to do this.
Yeah, I will say Josh is the one. I had thought at first when I was trying to come up with a name for my doll page and stuff, I had thought this name, honest to God, I did, but I didn't tell nobody. And so Josh later on, like probably a day later, he said, why don't you call it Dolls for Dolls? Because he's the one that has always said, Jesse, be a doll and go pour me something to drink. And it would annoy me so much because he was just being a smarty pants little brother. But it turned out to be something beautiful for me and also something to share our bond as brother and sister. So yeah, I'm very thankful and I love you so much.
No, you do.
But anyway, thank y'all so much for watching. I really hope that you enjoyed this video. If you did or found it helpful, be a doll and hit the like button. Comment down below, subscribe to the channel, and hit the notification bell so you don't miss any of my future videos. I love you guys, and I'll see you in the next one.
Bye.
Bye.